In the heart of a small African village, where the earth is rich and red, and the people are bound by tradition, lived a woman named Adanna. She was the kind of woman who turned heads wherever she went, graceful, beautiful, the pride of her family. But beneath her radiant smile, a storm was brewing. A storm that would change the course of her life, and the lives of her children, forever. Chike, the man she married, was not the man she thought he was. In the early days, he was the perfect husband. Kind, loving, the kind of man every woman in the village envied. But as the years passed, the mask he wore began to slip, revealing a side of him that was filled with anger and darkness. The first time he struck her, she was shocked. But she said nothing. In her world, a woman's duty was to endure, to keep the family together, no matter the cost. The violence grew, like a poison seeping into every corner of their home. And it wasn't just Adanna who suffered. Their children, Nkem, Ifeoma, and little Ibuka, were caught in the crossfire. The home, once filled with laughter, now echoed with cries and the sound of blows landing on flesh. Adanna hoped that moving to the city would bring peace, that the noise of the world would drown out the screams within her home. But Chike's violence only grew stronger, fed by his frustration and loss. The neighbors heard, but no one intervened. In the city, people looked the other way, not wanting to get involved. Their children were drowning in the turmoil. Nkem, who once dreamed of being a doctor, turned to the streets, joining a gang to escape the chaos at home. Ifeoma, once gentle and caring, withdrew into herself, afraid to speak. And Ibuka, the youngest, became a ghost of a child, haunted by nightmares and a deep hatred for his father. Then came the night when everything changed. A night when the rain poured down like the tears Adanna had never shed openly. Chike, drunk and consumed by his own demons, accused her of things she had never done. He beat her until she could no longer scream. But this time, her children could not stand by and watch. Nkem, filled with years of bottled-up rage, fought back. The struggle was fierce, and in a tragic twist of fate, Nkem did the unthinkable. He killed his father. The death of Chike sent shockwaves through the community. The family, once respected, was now the subject of whispers and shame. Nkem, the boy with so much promise, was taken away in handcuffs, leaving Adanna and her other children to pick up the pieces. They returned to the village, but life was never the same. Adanna, who had once been a symbol of beauty and grace, was now a shadow of herself. But in her heart, a fire had ignited. A fire that refused to be extinguished. She began to speak out, to share her story, to urge other women not to suffer in silence. She became a beacon of hope for those who had none, a voice for the voiceless. Years passed, and Nkem was released from prison, forever changed by what he had done, but determined to break the cycle of violence. Ifeoma became a social worker, dedicating her life to helping children who had suffered like she did. And Ibuka, once silent, found his voice through writing, sharing their story with the world. The scars of the past would never fully heal, but they learned that with courage, even the deepest wounds could lead to new beginnings. And in a world where silence had once been the norm, they became a testament to the power of speaking out, and the strength found in survival. This is their story. A story of pain, of survival, and of hope. May it remind us all of the strength it takes to break the silence. And the courage needed to start anew.